folks. This is John McLeod with Complete Nerd Authority. Uh, it's been a while since my last show. I apologize for that, but this week I want to discuss one game in particular that just came out on Friday. It's been a bit been making a pretty big craze prior to its release. Of course, I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Um, I mean, so far the game has been amazing. It's been, I mean, they've announced it back a couple of about a year or two back, and so far it's lived up to the hype. It definitely brings back that old school retro nostalgic vibe, like back in the arcades. Of course, you have your the four iconic turtles: Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and then of course, you also have Master Splinter, April O'Neil, and just before the game was released, about a week before, they announced that Casey Jones is going to be a part of the game, which you can unlock after completing the story mode. Um, Basically, to break down the different modes, the different features they have on the game. You have the story mode where you pretty much go through the game, and they have their little story about the turtles going through all 16 stages. Yeah, there were 16 stages in the game, going through all of Shredder's henchmen and whatnot, the different villains. What was really cool is the boss characters. I pretty much recognized all of them. They had a really good roster of villains that was represented in the game. You had Bebop, Rocksteady, uh, you had Ground Chuck, and Dirtbag, who was basically the mutated bull and the mutated mole. Um, I think they were on the '87 cartoon like twice. I guess there was pretty much like a, a B-lister version of Bebop and Rocksteady. Even Toka and Razor, they made a bit of appearance in the boss battle with Tempestra. Yeah, Tempestra is in the game. Is a boss character in the game from the 1987 cartoon as well. And then you had a Wingnut, which was a surprise to me. Uh, he was he was a character that was featured in the Saturday in an episode of the 1980s cartoon show as well. Uh, you had Metalhead, Rat King, Leatherhead, uh, Krang and Shredder, of course, at the end. The soundtrack was amazing. I mean, you had uh, at the spoiler alert, um, at the uh, at the end of the at the final boss fight, when you fight Shredder, they have members of the Wu Tang Clan doing a song for the game, which was featured on the Shredder boss battle, which was really cool, and I mean, it was a really dope track. It was very catchy. I mean, I paused the game just to just to rock out to that song. It was Oh yeah, it was absolute fire, absolutely. Um, um, then of course you have some of the other great features as far as the boss battles that you get to play on. They have You can play up to 6 players, whether it's a 6 player co-op, whether it's offline or online. Um, that was amazing to be able to play up to 6 people. I haven't played with anyone online. I haven't played with anyone in multiplayer yet, in multiplayer co-op yet. But if you can, hit me up at Silver Poet HD on PlayStation Network. I have it on the PlayStation 5. Um, what I also noticed was some of the references to the classic games. Some of the moves was pretty much from the old game, where the one move where you slam your opponent back and forth. That was from uh, Excuse me, that was from the Turtles in Time game from the arcade version and the SNES, and you could also do it on the Hyperstone Heist Sega Genesis game as well. There's also the move where you throw the where you can throw your enemy onto the screen, which I thought that was really cool. Um, Speaking of which, there's a boss fight with a Chrome Dome when you get to the Technodrome. Uh, there was this one part in the boss game where you have to throw one of the foot soldiers into the onto the screen where Chrome Dome is. So I thought that was a pretty cool reference from the Technodrome level at TMNT Turtles in Time, the SNES version. So yeah, you get a lot of references from the show. Oh, and what was really a really cool surprise was you got the voice actors that played the title characters that played the Ninja Turtles. You had Barry Gordon um, replaying his role as Donatello, Cam Clark as Leonardo, Michael Townsend as Michelangelo, and then of course the awesome, great, one of the greatest voice actors that we have ever had the privilege of knowing. Met him a few times. Really cool guy. Rob Paulson, of course, the voice of Raphael. So I mean, the fact that they managed to get those guys together to do the video game, which was, I mean, that was really cool. A really unexpected extra surprise for the game. It really made it feel like I was watching a long lost episode of TMNT. And I mean, I've been a fan of TMNT for like 30 plus years since I was a kid, and I still am to this day. Um, I mean, that part was just amazing. They also have I mean, in the retro stuff, the retro feel still. They keep adding on to it, where they have another feature called the arcade mode, where you get to play the game just like the old school days, where you have limited lives. Um, Pretty much go through the whole entire game with no save, no suspended saves or anything like that. You just go completely through it, just like the old days. I mean, which was a lot of fun. Plus, you get to also see other minor characters from the on the game as well, from the original cartoon as well. You get to see Burn Thompson, April's boss, Irma, uh, the Punk Frogs, the Neutrinos, Zach, Dask, and Kala. Um, yeah, I mean, all around, I mean, it was just a great game. Uh, of course, there's the online mode. I mean, I haven't played online yet, but I might try, I might try to do online. I mean, if I can. I don't know a whole lot of people on my PlayStation list that's on my PS list that's playing Ninja Turtles right now. But anyway, I mean, all around, it's a great game. I mean, it really just took you back. It really just takes me back to the retro style, old school arcade beat 'em up. I mean, the beat 'em up genre has always been my favorite of genres in video games. It's just simple, just going around beating up bad guys, saving the world, or saving whatever whatever the case it is. I mean, all around fun. I mean, nothing complex. Just learn a few buttons, punching and kicking and doing special moves and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's always fun. I mean, I definitely recommend it. So, mm, I guess that should do it. I mean, that was my little short review of TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Um, Honestly, I really hope that they do some DLCs maybe in the near future. I would really love for them to have maybe some other characters, playable characters as well, or some maybe some extra levels. I would love to see Usagi Yojimbo. The if some of y'all don't know, what is the samurai rabbit who had his own cartoon? He's had his own. Well, he had. Uh, Well, he didn't have his own. Well, technically, he did have his own cartoon called Space Usagi, but that's another thing. But Usagi Yojimbo was created by Stan Sakai, who was really good friends with the creators of TMNT, uh, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. So he's been featured on on quite a few of the Turtles cartoons. There was the 87 cartoon, 1987 cartoon, the '03 cartoon, and the 2012 cartoon. So I mean, he's a really cool character, Samurai Rabbit. I've actually read some of the comic books recently. I mean, really cool character, really cool character. I mean, it's basically set in feudal Japan that was basically just inhabited by with anthropomorphic humanoid animals, and I mean, it was really cool. So yeah, I'm hoping they if they do a DLC, I hope they add Usagi Yojimbo. I mean, that would really be cool. I mean, that's just my opinion. Um, I guess that should do it with the Complete Nerd Authority Saturday night. And I just wanted to do a short review of TMNT Shredder's Revenge. If you haven't already, I mean, go check it out. I mean, you won't be disappointed. It's awesome. It's amazing. Great beat 'em up. So until then, I will see you guys later. Peace.